forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the...
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the Volpe Report. I'm your host, Domenic Volpe. Tonight we have two special guests. We have from the Travelers Rest, Nancy and Dave Paganelli. Welcome.
Well, thanks, Domenic.
Okay,
Thank you.
Nancy, welcome. Okay, so let's start off with, give us a little bio of yourselves.
Okay, Nancy.
Well, I drifted into the restaurant business and ended up loving it. I went to work there for a summer, and I met Dave, and the rest is now restaurant history. It's been a long summer of 26 years.
Oh, very nice.
So we've been working together in the restaurant business for 26 years and are still on speaking terms.
Amazing.
Which
Sometimes.
is amazing.
Sure, running a family business is not the easiest thing to do.
Our business is a real family
Yeah,
business.
yes.
On any given day, there's my wife, myself, both my daughters, my sister. We had my stepbrother working there for a while. We had
Sure.
my stepsister. I mean, it's really quite the family
Any
operation.
endeavor when it comes to, especially when 2 or 3 people, you're going to have, and it's a family business like that. I mean, I'm in the same boat. We have probably of 15 workers, we have probably 7 or 8 are actually family. So I
There's
know
a lot of Volpes around.
There's a lot of Volpes around, yes. and there's a steady stream coming in, it looks like.
That's what we say. We say, on any given night, there's a Paganelli in every room, for better or worse,
So, any children?
We do. Our daughter Julie is 20. She's a student at Westchester Community College, and she's going to get ready to move on to a state university. She hasn't chosen yet. And then our youngest daughter is still in Yorktown High School. She's a junior. And
You better mention her name.
Vanessa Paganelli and Julia Paganelli, that's right. And she's a hard worker, wants to be a teacher. So I guess she loved Yorktown schools. Congratulations, Yorktown teachers.
She wants to go into the teaching profession.
Yeah, she
Very
loves
good.
it, so.
Congratulations, good.
We also enlist their friends now. When she graduates, as she is our youngest, a lot of the kids from the high school are work at Travelers. And they work weekends and they're servers and...
Little source of income, getting ready for college expenses.
Yeah, it works out very nicely for them, actually. This way they work when they're not in school so they can concentrate on their studies when they're in school.
Sure. Sure, it gives them that little
As opposed
leverage.
to having those little part-time jobs when you're at school that kind of interfere with your studies.
Right. Like a lot of them have that work-study or study-work program, and it's tough. I know my son just went through that, so it does get distracting after a while. All right, so how do we go from the business, and how does that tie into community, with community involvement?
What we feel, is we've tried to use our restaurant as a forum to help the community. We've been very involved we've never refused anything for the community. We've been involved in from the renovation of the train depot to Alliance for Safe Kids to the Support Connection, offering breast and ovarian support services for women who are battling those types of cancer, to the Women's Resource Center.
And the list goes on.
I think the things really began with the PAC committee, the parents and kids together, and that again started from having children in the school system.
And what is the PAC? It's a
Parents and kids
Well,
together.
that's evolved into the Alliance for Safe Kids.
Yeah.
But originally, when it was the grassroots was Parents and Kids Together.
And what do they do? It's what to promote?
Now it encompasses DARE and it encompasses all the other, various groups that work to keep kids safe. And it's grown to quite a huge organization.
From doing it in the school, in the cafeteria,
Right.
bringing food, to moving it on into the restaurant and having seminars and learning for parents how to work with teens and different kids at different ages.
So are these based out of the restaurant, or is it that they're based like in the community and then you bring it back to the restaurant for
Exactly.
a night, a fundraiser, whatever the case may be?
Both ways. I mean, we just did Women's Resource Center at another restaurant where there were 12 restaurants that participated, 350 guests paid to come in. We brought our food there, and there was a silent auction, and it was a good turnout, and it was very successful. It's a tough time. It's a very, very difficult time on charities.
Sure.
Charities are particularly hard hit now, and it's sad, but the old adage, charity begins at home.
Right.
When people can't pay their bills, it's hard to donate to charities.
My father used to tell me it all the time. He goes, you know what? I may be the most giving person, but if I don't have any money to give, how can I give it to anyone? So, it goes along the same lines.
We see that. We see a lot of the charities that we're involved with are struggling.
So how long did you take the active role because you thought it was good for business, or did you take the active role because it was something that you felt deep down you wanted to do?
No, we never anticipated that it would be good for business. That was never a consideration. We did it because we felt it was the right thing to do. That if you have a public forum like Travelers Rest, which is, it's a landmark restaurant, and when you have that kind of forum, and if you don't use it to do good, you're not really fulfilling your responsibility.
It's a good one. Like, I know you were awarded the was at the Circle of Da Vinci Awards. They gave you the Businessman of the Year, I think it was, or that was last year, I believe.
Humanitarian of the Year from the Sport Connection.
Oh.
Business Couple of the Year from the Chamber of Commerce. So that's nice. I mean, we're very grateful. Makes you feel good that
Of course.
people recognize that you did well, but we do well because we know it's the right thing to do.
I think looking at business models, though, I think you're seeing more and more small business owners doing more on the community level. Like, I'll give you an example. In my business, which is, everyone knows, is dry cleaning, I used to spend so much for advertising. But I used to get PTAs that used to come into the store saying, can I have a $20 gift certificate or $30? And I used to refuse it. But about 8 years ago, I said, you know what? I said, this is nuts. I'm spending so much money on media, and I don't know, there's not really the benefit. It seems like
you don't feel it.
I don't feel it.
Right.
But when they come into the store, and I would say, you know what, I'm not refusing anybody. From now on, give them a 20, give them a 30, give them a 50, whatever it is. And not right away, but in time, you build,
back.
it comes back to you.
We found that to be the case.
Yeah,
definitely. And I would rather give whatever we can afford to donate, give a dinner for 100 people, and let them raise money and keep a certain program running. I would rather do that than spend the money in advertisement.
Sure.
Because of the approbation, it makes you feel good.
Right.
You know that you've done the right thing, and you could see
Right.
directly the results
I'm not
of
saying
it.
no advertising whatsoever. But, it is.
We don't do much advertising at all.
Oh, really?
No.
Is that right? So, but it's almost the same type of model, only just.
Yes, exactly. I mean, we'd rather give the money, we'd rather put the money into the restaurant or give the money to
Right.
organizations in the community
That in the need.
than spend it advertising, trying to tell people this is a great place to go. Let people know by your actions.
Right.
And then decide
that
for
you're-
themselves. Sure.
Right.
Sure.
Well, it helps that it's a big restaurant and it does hold a lot of people, and that's very helpful when you're trying to raise community.
Sure. Or community awareness, or
Yes.
whatever the case may be. I know it was there for the Bruce Apar's
Oh, yeah, Bruce Apar's Foundation.
foundation.
Support him. Yeah,
Right.
it's
Him,
great.
and there was Craig Schulman also
Right.
was there that night.
Yep, the Jenna's Dream and the Harrison Apar
Right.
Field of Dreams.
Also another one you
Yep.
support.
Oh, yes.
Both of those children actually were in school with my daughter.
Oh, is that right?
Our daughter, Julia. Yeah.
And what happened to that specifically is Bruce's son Harrison.
Bruce's son suffered from
He had a
dwarf.
I believe he had a heart condition.
Heart condition.
Aside, he also did suffer from dwarfism, but he went in for a surgery that I don't know if it was routine, but they certainly expected to come out of that surgery, and he
Right.
did not. So that was very, very sad. And then Jenna, that little girl passed away in first grade. Yeah.
Brain tumor.
And I think, based on that night, if I'm not mistaken, I think that Bruce's and Craig, they were almost like next door neighbors or something
Yes.
like that?
Yes, they are.
Very good
Yes.
friends for a long time.
Yeah. So you support them also?
We do support them. Yeah, we do support them.
So tell me, so where do you see, do you see a continuance going forward? I mean, do you expand? I mean, are you going to open up another
No, I don't think so.
20 Travelers Rests?
No. Travelers is a unique scenario in that its identity is very much tied to our family.
Right.
So to have another Travelers would be very difficult.
It's almost like watering or dumbing it down in a
Right.
sense.
Yeah, it's
The idea is that there's a Paganelli running the show at the time.
well, we're there, if there's a problem, and certainly there's always problems,
Sure.
but if there's a problem, there's someone there who cares and rectifies it. That's like you. You're there, somebody has a problem, they come in, they don't like something, you
Yeah,
take care of
I
it.
know sometimes it's almost like, it's as simple as this. It's, even though I didn't touch any of the work involved, the fact that they seen